Louis Vuitton was once a homeless boy in Paris, unaware of the fact that he would one day create a billion-dollar luxury brand. Louis Vuitton is the most valuable luxury fashion brand in the world. Its CEO, Bernard Arnault, is also the second wealthiest man on the planet with a net worth of around $180 billion. Looking at Louis Vuitton's business and financial success today, you would never guess that the company was started by a man who was homeless during his teenage years, had no education, and slept in a forest. Louis Vuitton is a true business rags-to-riches story. But the company would also be the subject of a hostile takeover, countless lawsuits, and many other controversies. This is the insane story of Louis Vuitton and how a tiny family business evolved into one of the most powerful brands in the world. When Napoleon assumed the title of Emperor of the French in 1852, his wife hired Louis Vuitton as her personal box maker and packer. This provided a gateway for Vuitton to a class of elite and royal clientele who would seek his services for the duration of his life and far beyond, as the Louis Vuitton brand would grow into the world-renowned luxury leather and lifestyle brand it is today. Louis Vuitton is an iconic luxury fashion house that epitomizes sophistication, elegance, and craftsmanship. Founded in 1854 by the French designer Louis Vuitton, the brand quickly gained renown for its exceptional luggage and travel accessories, catering to the affluent elite of the time. Today, Louis Vuitton stands as one of the world's leading luxury brands, celebrated for its timeless and exclusive collections of handbags, accessories, ready-to-wear clothing, shoes, and fragrances. The brand's signature LV monogram, a symbol of opulence and style, is instantly recognizable worldwide. With a commitment to innovation, Louis Vuitton continues to blend heritage with modernity, maintaining its status as a symbol of luxury and aspiration for generations of fashion connoisseurs. The grand heritage dates back to 1821, when Louis Vuitton was born in France. With the hopes of leaving a mentally abusive home and starting life over, Vuitton has survived the worst to establish the brand after himself. After 3 generations of struggle, survival, and pioneer, their signature styles are still used worldwide. Vuitton was born to a family of artisans, carpenters, and farmers. At the age of 10, his mother, a hat maker, died, and his father followed soon after. Following a difficult relationship with his adoptive stepmother, Vuitton left his home in Angers, Franche-Comté in the spring of 1835 at the age of 13. His mother passed away, and soon after, his father remarried. Louis' stepmother was as wicked as the villains in fairy tales. She made Louis Vuitton's life miserable, and eventually, he had enough. After Louis turned 13, he quietly slipped away from the farmhouse and headed to Paris with no money or food. Fortunately, Louis found odd jobs with artisans and craftsmen who taught him how to work with metal, stone, fabrics, and wood. Still, he had no money left over for shelter and became homeless. He often slept in the woods with only a cloak to keep him warm. At the time, the first railway line to Paris had just opened. Travel became more accessible, and the industry started to boom. Craftsmen capitalized on this by making custom boxes for aristocrats. They often traveled with paintings, instruments, and furniture, and needed boxes that could fit and withstand long trips. They also needed help with packing their belongings in a certain way to protect them from breaking. Since Louis learned some of the skills involved on his way to Paris, he decided to try and find work in the trade. Taking odd jobs along the way, Vuitton traveled approximately 292 miles, 470 km, to Paris. Arriving in 1837, in the middle of the Industrial Revolution, the teenage Vuitton was taken in as an apprentice in the workshop of a successful box maker and packer named Monsieur Maréchal. In 19th century Europe, box making and packing was a highly respectable and urbane craft. A box maker and packer custom made all boxes to fit the goods they stored and personally loaded and unloaded the boxes. It took Vuitton only a few years to stake out a reputation amongst Paris' fashionable class as one of the city's premier practitioners of his new craft. Within a few years, Vuitton gained a reputation amongst Paris' more fashionable class as one of the city's premier practitioners of the craft. Inspired by the innovations of the Industrial Revolution, Vuitton's creative mind sparked with ideas. He envisioned a revolutionary flat-top trunk, unlike the traditional dome-shaped ones of his time, making them stackable and easier to transport. This visionary design not only catered to the evolving needs of the era's travelers, but also established him as a trailblazer in the industry. After the re-establishment of the French Empire under Napoleon, I Vuitton was hired as a personal trunk maker and packer for the Empress of the French. She charged him with packing the most beautiful clothes in a quite exquisite way. This provided Vuitton with a gateway to other elite and royal clients, who provided him with work for the rest of his career. In 1854, at age 33, Vuitton married 16-year-old Clemence Emily Perrault. Soon after, he left Marechal's shop and opened his own trunk-making and packing workshop in Paris. Outside of his shop hung a sign that read, "Securely packs the most fragile objects." Specializing in packing fashions. In 1858, inspired by H.J. Cavesons of London, Vuitton introduced his revolutionary rectangular canvas trunks at a time when the market had only rounded top leather trunks. The demand for Vuitton's durable, lightweight designs spurred his expansion into a larger workshop in Asnières-sur-Seine. The original pattern of the shellac-embedded canvas was named Damier. In 1858, 4 years after opening his own shop, Vuitton debuted an entirely new trunk. Instead of leather, it was made of a gray canvas that was lighter, more durable, and more impervious to water and odors. However, the key selling point was that, unlike all previous trunks, which were dome-shaped, Vuitton's trunks were rectangular, making them stackable, and far more convenient for shipping via new means of transport, like the railroad and steamship. Most commentators consider Vuitton's trunk the birth of modern luggage. The trunks proved an immediate commercial success, and advances in transportation, and the expansion of travel placed an increasing demand for Vuitton's trunks. In 1859, to fulfill the requests placed for his luggage, he expanded into a larger workshop in Asnières, a village outside Paris. Business was booming, and Vuitton received personal orders not only from French royalty, but also from Ismail Pasha, the Khedive of Egypt. Vuitton also designed the world's first pick-proof lock. All lock patterns were safely kept at Vuitton's workrooms and registered with the owner's name in case another key was needed. In 1871, as a result of the Franco-Prussian War, demand fell sharply, and Vuitton's workshop was in shambles. Many of his tools were stolen and his staff were gone. Vuitton rebuilt immediately, erecting a new shop at 1 Rue Scribe, next to a prestigious jockey club in the heart of Paris. Fortunately for him, property prices dropped because of the war. Louis took advantage of the opportunity and purchased a shop in an upscale district. Within months of reopening, business was thriving again, and orders came in from all over the world. Afterwards, Louis received so many international orders that he opened a shop in London. The expansion led to diversifying his clientele, which included more royals and explorers. In 1872, Vuitton introduced a new line featuring beige monogram designs with a red stripe that would remain a signature of his brand long after he died in 1892 due to a severe and aggressive cancer in his brain. Subscribe to our channel for more informative videos. Thank you.